Hello. Welcome to another video here with Flight Noob. So today we are at Beijing Daxing International Airport. I recently just purchased a scenery from Orbx. I believe the developer is Tai Models for the Beijing Daxing International Airport. And today we are in the Cessna Corvallis TT at the airport. And I thought, you know what, now would be a good time to take a good look at the scenery to see how it looks like in general and how it performs on the frames. Alright, so as you can tell, I'm at the runway and the runway looks darker than usual in a way. So I don't know if this is how it looks like in real life, but I'm not a big fan of the coloring. Maybe that's how it looks like, but I think it looks a little lighter in real life. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the colors and the taxiways, but as you can tell, the signage is very well done. Very good runway markings, taxiway markings. That's all right, but the color on them I'm not too sure about. It does look a little bit odd, if I'm being honest, the dark signage, the dark textures. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. And I'm pretty sure in real life the tarmac around the airport is not this dark. But anyway, apart from that, the scenery here, as you can tell, it is massive. It covers a very large area. This particular airport is a very large one. This terminal building that you're looking at, the one that's shaped like a starfish, is the single largest airport terminal, single building that is. So the largest single building airport terminal in the world. It also has a smaller little building in front of it called the North Terminal. That's right there. The control tower is right here. That gives a really good view across the entire airport. And as you can tell, it does have some impact on the frames. There are occasional stutters, but for the most part, it's pretty smooth, right? And off to that area where you see a sort of isolated runway, not connected to the rest of the airport, and a bunch of hangars there, that is the military section. So there is one runway here and the hangars there, which is the military section of the airport. And as you can tell, it's separate from the civilian, so it doesn't really affect any operations as far as I'm concerned. Now, one interesting thing is you can't actually spawn into the parkings or the runway at the military bit of the airport in MSFS. So that is an interesting little thing about this scenery. But all in all, very nice. There's a fire station and fire truck and stuff like this modeled here. There's all sorts of buildings modeled ahead of it. Some of these I believe are like airline offices and things like that. There's 4 runways available at the airport. There's one right here, one right here, one right here, and a parallel runway to that right there. So 4 very long runways, plenty of room in the airport in general. Very good markings. If we come a little bit closer in towards the airport, you can tell that the markings are actually very good. There you go. They're quite good. I just don't like the ground texture very much. It's a bit too dark, and the contrast between them and the ground markings is a little off-putting in my opinion, but I guess it could be realistic and I could be wrong. Nonetheless, the airport scenery also comes with custom jetways that are glass, so you can see the passengers boarding your aircraft if you have GSX installed. So that's a really good touch. Very nice custom jetways and walkways here. Very well done. If we head into the terminal here, as you can tell, the interior is also modeled quite nicely. It is not modeled to the greatest accuracy, neither does it have the highest resolutions on the inside, but it is modeled nonetheless, and it's very nice touch to have a lot of the details modeled. And considering that much of the flight you're going to be outside, it doesn't really matter, does it? So yeah, decently modeled here on the inside. Yep, pretty much so. And it does have a central atrium from which you can pretty much see the entire terminal building. Very nice. There it is. See? Beautiful little area. Well, I say little. Rhetorically, it's not little. Now, the main attraction obviously is the airport terminal from outside, and from outside it is absolutely perfect. It is near perfect, and it looks very, very good. Very, very good. A very beautiful terminal, and must be really, really fun to fly in and out of here with that scenery looking at you. Okay, now let's have a look at this at night time as well. Now before we do, let me inject some traffic in here and see how that looks. I removed traffic on purpose just to see how the frame rates go and to have a good look at the scenery without any traffic. Obviously now we've got some traffic injection going. Let's wait for some traffic to load up, and there just begun loading up some traffic. There, that completes the scenery much better. There we go, that is much better. Beautiful. So yes, the traffic does add a little bit more of a performance drop as well, but I just wanted the first look at the airport to be free of any performance drop due to the traffic. But as you can tell, the airport looks fantastic. Excellent. Great. Now let's change the time. Take a look at it from what it looks like at night. Okay. Now, as you can tell, the airport is absolutely gorgeous at night, and it has great lighting. If we look at the control tower as well, there's that blinking, or rather breathing red light, which is really cool. And if we come in a little closer to take a closer look at the lighting poles, they're also done really well. Very nice level of detail here. Very nice. Okay, so this is a very good airport all in all. I like it very much, and as you can tell, the taxiways and the runways are also really well lit. Really well lit and quite accurate too, quite realistic too. So must be really good. Now let's go ahead now and hop on into our aircraft and take it for a spin around the airport. We'll take a look at what it looks like from the aircraft. Okay, so let's jump into the cockpit. We'll do this during the day first, and then we shall do it. We shall switch the time and go to nighttime. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our aircraft up and running here. There we go. We're not focusing on the flight today. We're just checking out the airport, nothing more. Okay, brilliant. Now there could be improved textures on the runway markings, the center line and stuff, or maybe that's just how it is. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, a little bit of stutters. Whenever we move the view, I get a bit of stutters, but apart from that, there isn't much of an issue. And just for full disclosure, I am on ultra settings at the moment. I shouldn't have an issue because my PC should be able to handle it, and it does handle flight sim pretty well in general, so yeah, it looks really good, to be honest. Very nice. Okay, that is not a bad looking airport by any means. Very lovely. Let's go ahead and have a look at it at nighttime. Okay, let's turn our little aircraft around. Okay, I think I've got my landing lights or takeoff lights or something on. And I've never flown this aircraft really. Have I flown this aircraft? I have no idea. I don't know where the lights are. Anyway, doesn't matter. We can still take a look at it. Beautiful. So as you can tell, the runway lights are they look really good. And I like that the middle lights disappear when you look at the runways from the side. So that is a really good touch as well. So if we fly, if we take a turn right now to the left, you'll see what I'm talking about. That is really, really good. Beautiful, beautiful airport. I like how the runway lights behave. Look at that. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little look around the Beijing Daxing International Airport scenery by Tai Models. If you're considering purchasing a model to expand your flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is an airport I'll recommend. Now it is priced around $20 US, and I feel it's not too bad for that price point. I'm not gonna say that it's the best out there, but it's not too bad for that price point. Definitely a good airport worth looking into, considering especially that in China there isn't much in the way of scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I wouldn't say it's a bad purchase at all. Okay, so with that, I hope you enjoyed that little look into this particular airport. It is available for sale from Orbx and a number of other platforms. So yeah, I shall see you in the next video. Take care.